Good night. We'll start breaking news program. My name is Ronal Ramirez and you're welcome. We'll start with international news. The two sides had been engaged in talks on the leaders' second meeting after the first unprecedented one in Singapore in June. A meeting is likely sometime after the first of the year, the U.S. official told a small group of reporters. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said on Friday he hopes to meet his North Korean counterpart soon to lay the groundwork for a big step forward on the nuclearization during the next summit. Pompeo, in an interview with Voice of America on a trip to Mexico City, said Kim told him 2 weeks ago he was committed to the promises he had made to Trump during their first summit. Pompeo met North Korean Foreign Minister Ri Jong-ho at the United Nations General Assembly in New York in September. A State Department spokeswoman declined to clarify if Pompeo meant he would meet his counterpart in Washington, saying she had no meetings to announce. The Rodon Sinam, North Korea's official party newspaper, said the United States should not take an approach with two faces as Washington thought process in the nuclearization talks while keeping sanctions in place. The United States and South Korea on Friday said they had suspended upcoming joint air defense drills in a bid to ensure diplomatic efforts with North Korea continue. The two Koreas have held 3 summits this year. Colombia's Comptroller General seized assets of 10 health intermediary companies for charging patients for treatments covered by their, according to the Comptroller General's office, the so-called EPS intermediaries charged both patients and public health care funds. Among the fraudsters are some of the country's largest EPSs, including some that already had been embroiled in previous corruption scandals. Colombia's opposition has called to reform the healthcare system and remove the intermediaries, but are opposed by law workers who illegally receive much of their campaign from the EPSs. The Colombian Association of Integral Health Companies that represent the alleged fraudsters say that the companies ripped off its members and public health funds in only 1% of the cases. With the assets that were seized, the Comptroller General hopes to recover 400,000 pesos that was illegally charged to both patients and public health funds. The Ryder Cup fan who was left blinded by a Wakeboard Brooks Koipa shot has hammered event organizers, claiming she could have been killed. Karin Ramirez's eye exploded after a tee shot flew into her right eye, leaving her with permanent damage, which will change her life forever. Mr. Ramirez, 49 years old, have traveled from Egypt with her husband Rafael for golfing spectacular, but their dream trip turned to horror as they stood down the fairway of the 6th hole at the Golf National Club in Saint Queen in Yvelines, just outside of Paris. Mr. Ramirez is planning to take legal actions against event organizers who claim that the adequate warnings were not given before the ball came flying in the direction of the fans. I hope that this terrible accident will improve safety for the public, she told to BBC Sports. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you go to bed informed. See you soon. Good night.